In this video, I'm going to show you how to post 100 pieces of content a day, how we do it and how our clients all do it, how it's actually very manageable when you think about it. A lot of people think, oh, 100 pieces of content, that sounds like a lot. But ideally, it's only going to take you about 1 to 2 hours a day to perform this whole system. And so I'm going to be walking you through the full system here. And as you can see, this is my content dashboard. And before you ask, yes, this is a custom dashboard that was built to be able to handle all of our different automations and everything like that we use inside of our business. But yeah, this is custom dashboard. Again, these few different metrics here are hidden. As you can see, this last month, we did 37 photographics, 712 posts this week, meaning that we averaged about 102 a day. And then we have 3,100 posts this month so far. And in the past 30 days, not necessarily this month, but in the past 30 days, we have 16 integrated platforms that we post out to, and I'll show you how we link all those platforms and everything like that in a minute. And then we also have 117 unique angles. So that means of these 3,109 posts, we had 177 ideas that we had to come up with. We had 177 short form videos that were filmed that resulted in all of these different pieces. Now, these unique angles don't really include our long form videos. These are just angles that are pulled from short form, which is primarily where we repurpose from. I try to do about a video a week, but that doesn't really equate to much that is long form. And that gets repurposed about 3 places. So that's, 12 pieces of content. That doesn't make up a lot of this 3,100. But in this video, I'll be walking you through, my full content system to be able to post 100 pieces of content a day. The first thing that you're probably thinking to yourself right now, if you haven't already clicked off, is Zach, how will I ever have enough time to be posting 100 pieces of content a day? And that's a very, very valid question. And the truth is, you won't. You're going to leverage my secret AI content marketing system to be able to do this and to be able to actually put out that much content, right? And this is going to take, like I said, less than 1 to 2 hours a day. For me personally, it takes about an hour and a half. I've obviously set up the system, run it all, but you take a little bit of time up front to build out the system and it just basically runs itself. And so that's what I've kind of done. And no, I'm not paying a bunch of video editors. I'm not paying a bunch of VAs. I'm doing a lot of this stuff completely unedited without expenses. My expenses on my content team, it's actually one of my lowest expense teams now. It used to be a very high expense for me because I put out a lot of volume and that kind of thing. And I didn't really follow these best practices that I'm going to be walking through in this video. But for me, it takes very, very little resources to actually put out these 100 pieces of content a day. You actually only need to create about 8 posts a day to be able to post out to 100 pieces of content a day. And I'm going to show you how in this video here. You can I've seen people do it where they post 0 times a day. And they use basically HeyGen or one of these softwares to clone themselves and be able to post hundreds of pieces of content a day that are all specific to the platform that are done with 0 recording time. And so if you're running like a local business or you're not that great on camera, this is another option that I'll kind of be walking through as well in this video. But over here, you're probably wondering now, well, why would I want to ever post 100 pieces of content a day? What benefit does that bring me? And the truth is, volume negates luck, right? You look at Andy Elliott. He scaled to $100 million in 1 year. Or I'm pretty sure it's 1 year. It might have been 2 years. I don't know. He talks about it somewhere. He averages 150 million views every single month, which is unheard of. He just came out of nowhere. He completely blew up his content, and now he makes a lot of money with it. Alex Hormozi does $100 million in ARR, annual recurring revenue. So this is another, person who is very, very good to look at when it comes to content. He posts over 100 times a day. And we got Gary Vee. You probably already know Gary Vee. He's a garage selling dude. He does over 100 million, well over 100 million. When I was doing my research, I seen anywhere from like 100 million to like 500 million in ARR. And he's famous for saying just do 100 pieces of content a day. He's the one who really originated this idea of doing a lot of volume of content. And to be honest with you, if you actually want to scale a brand, the first thing that you have to do before you can scale the brand is actually validate the brand. And so how do we do that? Well, the way that we do that is by testing things, right? Just think for a minute to yourself, what is my testing frequency? And what value does that actually place on me being able to perform a scaling system inside of my content? And just think about it. What's your testing frequency, right? If you test a lot of things in a very, very small duration of time, do you think you're going to be better off or worse off than a person who tests 1 to 2 pieces of content, right? And that's where it really comes down to the main bottlenecks of this content system, right? And that's 4 main things. One is ideas. So coming up with ideas, I'm going to walk you through how we leverage AI to do that. Number 2 is going to be our distribution actions. So the amount of physical actions that we can take, then our distribution cap, and then our time, which is the thing that I broke at the very beginning of this video. So we're going to start out with number 1, and we're going to go into the actual ideas. And again, this is going to be way over here. And this is our AI content ideation system, right? And so what you have to understand is that the majority of the market is just giving ChatGPT just, hey, create me a short form content script. That's not going to get you excellent results when it comes to doing this. And so I recommend leveraging a platform like Claude, right? And if you want to actually get great content ideas, you have to give it great inputs, right? And you've probably heard this before, but the input is going to be the equivalent of the output. And so if you just give ChatGPT a terrible input, it's not actually going to give you what you want out of it. And so these are the biggest things that we feed to our AI, right? And I'll show you literally what this looks like right here for our viral script writer, right? We have documents, swipe files, all of the above, literally everything that you can think of, right? So this is kind of what we're typically uploading, right? Content prompts, interest peaks, verbal hooks, literally training material on every piece of viral content, like thousands of pieces of viral content. We're literally giving ChatGPT thousands of pieces of viral content to study, as well as swipe files of those pieces of content, right? So we're giving it all the breakdown on how everything is actually written, from courses, mentorships. I spent tens of thousands of dollars finding this material to be able to feed it to ChatGPT for you, right? And so we're feeding it that plus viral swipe files. So we basically have a VA that goes in and scrapes like literally thousands of videos to throw into this viral swipe file. Now, in addition to that, we also have client-specific things, right? And this is going to be things like your ICP analysis, your competitor analysis, your offer stack, any sort of website links, any sort of transcript swipes. And we typically, whenever we onboard a new client for any of these AI infrastructures, the first thing that we typically do after they fill out the onboarding form is start to build out their knowledge base. This is literally like every piece of information they have in their brain. Like I have a chat GPT. I'll actually pull it up right now. And this custom GPT literally knows everything about me, right? It knows the branded toothpaste that I have. It knows everything about my dog. Let's say, when did I adopt my dog? Right? It knows literally everything. What is the layout of my living room? Right? It is literally trained up on every single piece of information. And this is 100% true. There's a crate there. There's a large TV stand. There's a coffee table, 2 nightstands, a mounted whiteboard. I'll literally show you. I'll flip the camera around and show you what this looks like, right? You can see here, we have the TV, the crate, the couch, coffee stands, everything like that. And that is literally, it knows everything about me. And with something like this, you become literally unstoppable, because now I can tell it to write copy like me. I can tell it, what are some video ideas for me, and it'll come up with video ideas for me, right? And this is literally exactly what I do. This is trained up on every YouTube video I've ever created, every course module I've ever created, every SOP I've ever created. Literally everything that I've ever written in my Google Drive is in this. And I literally have 2 terabytes of storage in my Google Drive. And so this is kind of what we want to do at the start of our content system. And after we do this, we build out our content GPT. And this is our viral short form scriptwriter. And this thing actually works a lot better than just like prompting it, hey, write me a short form scriptwriter, because it has a lot more knowledge to pull from. And I'll give you an example here of what this looks like. I'm going to tell it to write a viral short form content script about how to post 100 pieces of content every day. Boom. Let's see what it spits out. So I typically like to instruct it to give me 3 hooks at the start. It's going to give me this viral script in this structure, and this is just one of the 7 structures that we use. But this is primarily, how we structure these pieces of content. We can see here, we have actual visual hooks on here. We have everything that we need. And so we never run out of ideas with this. I can also say, give me 5 content ideas based on my ICP analysis. Right? And if you have this, you can just upload it. So I'm just going to drag in my ICP analysis here, and then we'll send it, and it will give me 5 ideas based on my ICP analysis. And this is for an agency ICP from when we were in the agency niche. You can see these are very actually good ideas that it's pulled from. These are not just shitty ideas. And so our AI idea generator also is able to write these scripts. So now I can just tell it to write one of these scripts and I'll have a fully proven script in a proven framework as well. Okay, so now that we have our content ideas, we need to figure out how to actually distribute these pieces of content. And there's a few different ways to do that, but I'm going to show you how we primarily distribute, right? So there's two types of content. You obviously have your long form and your short form. We recommend repurposing everything. I'm just going to give you a few examples here. So for our short form, we repurpose those all from our primary platform is Instagram. And then our secondary platforms are going to be Facebook, YouTube Shorts, TikTok, Snapchat, and X, or Twitter. And then our long form is going to also get posted to LinkedIn, X, and Facebook as well. And so we do this through this software here. And as you can see, we have all this stuff set up. If you want this software, just DM me repurpose and I'll send you the software. And you can text that to me. I'll drop my number right here. +1 704 998-8564. You can just text or WhatsApp me and I'll send you over all the details on that software. But we also take all of these pieces of content more than just like, and I just threw this here for an example. We have a much more sophisticated automation system than this. This is just one of the automations that we run here. But for long form, for example, we'll also repurpose that into a long form newsletter. For short form, for example, we might also repurpose that into a viral graphic, which I'll show you in a few minutes after we talk about subsidiary platforms. And here is what this does, right? It takes this long form and then it basically transcribes it and uses ChatGPT to turn it into a newsletter for our feed. And it'll give you the hook, it'll give you the subject line, the copy, everything like that. And it'll throw it in Airtable, which is primarily where we use to track all of our newsletters and to do our human in the loop, right? And so this is, a huge system for us that's been able to help us distribute a lot more content because instantly, we get 10x efficiency, right? If we're posting every one short form, we get, 5x or 6x efficiency. We get, 6 times what we would be getting just posting to Instagram. As you can see, this is pretty good, but this isn't 16x. And you're probably wondering, how do we do that? Well, I'm going to be talking through now how to break through distribution caps. And a distribution caps is basically saying, okay, on TikTok, for example, you can only post a certain number of posts per day. And I believe that's like 5 or 10 now. So it's pretty low. So the way that we break through these distribution caps are what we call the clone system. And so this is used on our primary platforms. This is Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube. And then we also have our clone platforms. And these clone platforms are going to be Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube, right? And so we'll set up like 5 different bundles of these platforms here. And all the Instagram posts are going to repurpose to TikTok and YouTube. Personally, the reason I only have 16 is because I only have one YouTube channel. I don't repurpose to multiple YouTube channels, but you definitely could. And we've done it for clients. We found a ton of success. But with YouTube per se, I don't see any sort of reason not to post more. I've found that the more you post, the more views you get, and they don't throttle you back for posting more as long as the quality doesn't decrease, right? So now that we have this, you can kind of see that we are posting all of these different things, and these primary platform pushes into our first subsidiary platform as well, or our first clone platform, I should say. And then our subsidiary platforms get all the content from all of these different things, right? So anything that gets posted to any of these Instagram accounts will also get posted to TikTok and then YouTube, and then they will also end up on all these different platforms. Snapchat Spotlight is pretty underrated. There's not that many people on it. It's really easy to repurpose with the tool that we use. And then with LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter, these are ones that are also untapped. There's no reason not to repurpose your content. It's literally free. And so another thing that's like a bonus piece of content here is just some extra systems that we have that I did want to share with you. So this is one where we can basically just take an Airtable system or an Airtable record where we have a piece of content, and then we'll basically send it over here, have different action IDs to be able to post this content. So this is something that we can use directly inside of Airtable as well, and with our custom dashboard, which integrates directly with Airtable as well. We can use that here as well. Another piece of bonus content that I wanted to share with you is basically just, structure of our graphics. This is another thing that we do that creates an extra, 60, 90 pieces of content a month. This past month was about 30, but we've only been implementing this for about 10 days. So give or take around 90 pieces of content a month, right? So we basically just send it here. We're going to send it through an API call. Then we'll upload it to Google Drive and then we can approve it. Once it's approved in Airtable, then we actually push the content out. And so, with all of this stuff, if you're posting to all these different platforms, you're using these distribution systems where you're repurposing a ton. You're also, leveraging our AI content ideation system and all this kind of stuff. it is actually super, super easy to post 100 times a day. A lot of people overcomplicate it, but realistically, you need to be posting about 8 times a day to social media. And the way we do that is just popping our phone up. We record a quick video anytime we have just like an interesting thought or insight on the market. And, you know, we can also get those insights obviously from ChatGPT as well. I use voice chat. Extra bonus tip for you to get ideas as well. But this is how to post 100 pieces of content a day. Hopefully this all made sense to you and this was all super, super valuable for you. But again, shoot me a text. If you need clone system accounts, you need aged Instagram accounts or TikTok accounts or YouTube accounts or anything like that, just shoot me a text. This is my number right here, +1 704 998 8564. It's my personal cell. This will go to my phone. Please don't call me. Be respectful. Don't call me, but text me, WhatsApp me. I'll be able to answer you there. And if we do need to set up a call, we can book that in from there as well. But yeah, that is how to post 100 pieces of content a day. Make sure to let me know what you thought in the comments and go watch this video as well. I think it'll be a banger for you and I think it would be super valuable. So yeah, peace.